The podcast is starting right now.
All right. In three, two, one.
Are you gonna do the intro?
Yeah, I guess. Welcome everybody to the meeting of the minds.
Welcome
My name is
everybody
Marcus.
to the meeting of the
Welcome.
minds.
Sorry. So go ahead.
My
Go ahead.
name is Slug, and this is my co-host August. This is a podcast, and we're gonna broadcast our voices and speak about all kinds of issues. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, you can call me Gus here.
All right, August, Gus. That'll be your podcast name.
It's official.
So,
All right.
is there
So
this is the podcast.
we're live. We are
Is
live.
is this live on Twitch right now?
This is live on Twitch right now.
And how many listeners do we have?
We have a huge number of listeners. Our new record with 0 listeners right now. We're breaking records. We're smashing the glass ceiling every day.
We're gonna be one short today, unfortunately. As one of our members is sick with a terrible new virus going out.
Sick in the head.
A second coming of Ligma, actually.
Very unfortunate.
But we'll carry on without him. As they say, the show must go on.
It just has to.
So, is there anything you'd like to tell the audience today? Any questions that we need to
Mark,
ask?
I was wondering, what's your opinion on germs? What do you think about them? More importantly, what do you think about people that just scrub everything just relentlessly? Everything has to be clean and spotless, and if they can smell a germ, they kill it.
I think that's a good motto. This is a war on germs. There's a war on germs, and we're losing it. Okay. Do you know?
No.
I don't see anyone caring about germs anymore. Like I can't tell you every day I'm in like public bathrooms and stuff. And there's these people who just walk in straight up to a urinal. They just piss everywhere, splashing it back up on their hands. and then they just walk right out. They don't even wash their hands.
Do you wash your hands every time?
Yes. Sometimes I go into the bathroom. I don't even have to go. I just want to go and wash my hands in that nice public toilet water.
How many pumps of soap do you use? What's an adequate amount?
I don't use any soap. I just use the water. In fact, it's probably more dirty than not.
The dirty water?
The water's probably more dirty than not washing your hands at all.
Oh. What about killing 99.9% of germs? Should it be 100 or should it be less than 99.9?
Well, I mean, it should be 100, right? Because if you do the math, there's like, they say like 20 million, what is it now? It's like 20 billion, 20 trillion germs on like 1 square centimeter of fingernail. So if you kill 99% of that, there's still 1% left. What's 1% of a quadrillion? That's like a few thousand, right? So it's still
no, it's
like
more than that. That's like a few billion.
You're right.
We have billions of germs.
So 99%, at that point, it doesn't even matter. You didn't do anything at all.
Okay, but how about this? If I wash my hands with this sanitizer once, kill 99%. Then I do it again, and I kill that another 99%.
I it's still if 1% of a trillion is a billion, then 1% of a billion is still a million. You're gonna have to like you're gonna have to sit there and like pump the soap or hand sanitizer like a good 100 times to get down to a respectable number of bacteria.
That's true. That's true. I just wanted to update you here real quick, Mark. We are at 2 viewers.
Really. If you're listening right now, we just want to let our hearts out to you. All right. This is the meeting of the minds.
Mark, you need to shut up. We're down to 1 viewer.
Oh, God damn it. All right, I guess my talking is just repulsing people. You say something.
If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments, and we'll be more than happy to answer them as quickly as possible.
While we wait for the viewers to phone in their questions, I have a question to ask you, actually. And
Okay,
anyone
go for
can
it.
pitch into this in the audience if you want. So, over the last few decades, right? There's been
Right,
all this
yeah.
talk about these new creatures in the forest. I think one of them, the colloquial term for them is Bigfoot,
Oh,
scientifically
yeah.
known as Sasquatch. Have you ever heard of this?
I've heard rumors, yeah.
Are you a believer of this? These rumors?
A big monkey man?
Yeah.
Uh, the more research I do, the more evidence I find and the more believable it is. I'd say there's about a 25% chance Bigfoot exists.
I'm actually more certain that Bigfoot exists than that whales exist.
I have never seen a whale. This is true.
I've never seen a whale except in photos, in videos. Do you know
I've
what
seen
else?
killer whales.
And I've seen plenty of photos and videos of Bigfoot, okay?
This is true. This is true.
So, from someone like me who lives like hundreds of miles from the ocean, how do you even know the ocean exists? You've only ever
I, I, I can tell you for a fact I've seen 2 oceans.
the the
I've
Pacific.
seen the Pacific and the Gulf of Mexico.
Okay, well, one of them's not an ocean. One of them's a gulf.
Okay,
I
fair
don't
enough.
even. Is a gulf
Big water.
even really called? We'll
Uh,
get back to that. But anyway, um, so next time someone asks you what tries to tell you that Bigfoot isn't real, right? You just go right back at them with the counterpoint and say, "Okay, are whales real?" And you
well,
say,
we
"Well,
can
of
go even
course they
further.
are." And then you can just say, "Okay, how do you know? Have you seen?" And they say, "I've seen pictures and videos of whales." And then you tell them, "Haven't you also seen pictures and
Yeah.
videos of Bigfoot and Loch Ness monster?"
Have you ever seen Donald Trump? How do you know he's real?
That's a really good point.
How do you know our president is even a living being?
How do you know Donald
It could just
Trump?
be made up by the media.
How do you know
The media
Trump
does that.
isn't Bigfoot?
That's also true.
He is pretty tall. What is he, like 5'2" now?
What, Trump or Bigfoot?
They are one and the same, aren't they?
Oh, that brings up a great point, Mark. I've heard you've been having some medical issues. I've heard you're actually shrinking.
That is true. I
How
am.
tall? How big are you now?
I recede about an inch a year.
And where did you start? Where was your top height?
I was like 5'11" at one point, and then that was 2 years ago. Now I'm 5'9". Okay.
Wow.
In fact, I'm gonna do some quick calculations, and if I recede an inch a year, let's see here. So 5 feet, that's 12. Okay. So I'm 69 inches tall right now. Wow. That's gold. Wrong button. So that means in 69 years from now, August,
Yes.
I'll be less than an inch tall.
How old will you be then? Like 99, 89?
Yeah,
Yeah.
around then.
So the day you turn 90, you will no longer exist.
That's true. I'll just shrink into nothingness. Oh. Your last year, you shrink an inch. If you're an inch tall and you, that's like, wow, 100% of your body height will be gone in a year. And then you'll
So where
just
do you
be a
think
nothing.
well, I guess the question is you're getting shorter, but are you getting wider? Are you going to get an inch wider every year?
That's a good point. I have not seen the effects of the wideness yet, but my hope is that it will get wider.
You'll
Because
be a
it,
pancake man.
think about that, an inch tall, but 5 feet wide. That would be a spectacle.
That I think
I
we have
could
to
get
sign you up for the circus.
I could get any job at like a restaurant. All right, I could be like a living tray. You just put all of like the food on my back and I just walk around.
Yeah, you could get carried too. They could just set you down. You could be a dinner plate.
I could be thrown like a frisbee.
Wow.
Well, the
You ever thought
future's
about this?
always looking bright. Yeah,
You could be on an ultimate frisbee team. They could hire you as the frisbee, and you could play for the team and cheat.
yeah. I could be the. They would hire me thinking I'd be an impartial frisbee, but actually, one of the teams paid me off to
Yeah,
swing it in their favor.
you throw an elbow out and you kind of curve yourself around to your teammate.
Maybe there's a lot more advantages to shrinking than I thought there were.
Yeah,
If
I
you can
think.
shrink like that, your life is pretty much made.
Yeah, honestly,
You never
you
have
could
to
get on.
worry about
You'd
getting
be
a
on
job.
Ellen. You'd be on Oprah. All the big talk shows.
You'd be on The View. Um,
Good Morning America. Probably 9 News.
yeah, and 11 News as well.
Wow, smart guy. I never realized I knew someone who's so special.
Well, we won't. You won't soon enough because when I'm famous, you think I'm gonna be talking to you?
I mean, I hope
I'm
so.
gonna be traveling around the world trying to meet other little people.
Go from the meeting of the minds to the meeting of the pancakes. You could be a mascot for IHOP. And just pour syrup on yourself. Man, that will be the day.
The future's looking bright, I tell you.
So do you think it's genetic? Do you think your children will also be shrinking just like you?
I can only hope so. It's like that little trinket I showed you a few weeks ago. So I found this coin with my family name on it, my last name on it, and a face. I held it up to my I held it up to my paw right there. The resemblance was exactly the same. There's a little person on this coin. It was like a 150-year-old coin from Germany, and I think I know how the coin was made.
You
It,
think
it
that is your grandfather?
that is my great great grandfather. He had the same shrinking disease, and he shrank all the way down into the size of a coin.
That is amazing.
That's what's gonna happen to me when I get to my final year. Once you shrink small enough, it just condense into pure silver.
Finally, you'll be something of value. Finally
Ow.
bring something to this world.
Oof. Yep. That's the future's looking good. It's looking good, I tell you.
No, I don't know why we haven't. That has been more popular, turning humans into currency. No, Mark, I think I got a good joke for you. You ready for this?
It looks like we have some interference here. Oh my gosh.
Who is this?
Who is this? What's happening?
A sickly man in our. Ugh, disgusting.
Oh my god. We're having a hack. We're being hacked here at the studio, guys. Bear with us, okay?
Unbelievable.
We're being hacked. Who is this?
It's disgusting.
Disgusting. We're vulnerable.
Absolutely repulsive.
We've only been on air for 15 minutes, and already the trolls are coming out of the wet works, trying to tear us down. We're just too popular. We're just too famous. With great fame comes great many people that just want to bring you down.
Yeah.
Eric?
Anyway,
Is that you?
Eric, you're live on the podcast.
Is there anything you want to say to the world?
The third musketeer is here.
Is there anything you want to say to the third world?
Hello?
He must not know that his microphone's muted or something.
Yeah. Very, very unprofessional. I've never seen someone so unprepared.
I mean, you're late, first of all. How are you even late? I mean, what were you possibly doing? His microphone isn't even on. Unbelievable. We'll have to cut that section out.
Yeah, we'll have to cut that out. Anyway, Mark, did you want to hear this joke?
No.
Okay.
This
I'm
isn't.
gonna tell it. What?
No, I didn't say anything.
All right, I'm gonna tell this joke to you. So there's this pirate, right? And he's the captain of his ship, and one of his shipmates comes up and goes, "Captain, Captain, there's enemy ships approaching." He says, "Okay, go get my red shirt." He gets his red shirt and comes back, and then they fight.
And then 3 ships come, and he says, "Grab my brown pants."
Oh my
We've
god!
all.
Oh my gosh! You heard that joke?
No, I just knew. I just thought like I'm like 50 steps ahead of everyone else in my head, so I just sort of knew that's where it would naturally lead.
What do you call someone that ruins a joke? Slug.
Hello?
Oh!
Hello, welcome. Yeah, we after you messed it all up, we had to stop all the recording. You broke the podcast. It's over. We're not doing it anymore.
Good.
Wow. We're up to 3 viewers now, Mark. Since Eric came, this podcast has gotten much more popular.
What?
Eric, you're live.
No,
You're
we're
live on
not.
air.
No, we're not.
Yeah, he is.
Did you make sure to spell meeting with a A in it? Meeting?
No, I did not.
Is this live or not?
Vegans? No, we're just messing with you.
I don't know if I can't tell if it's
Yes,
a
we are. No, it's not.
You're-
We're live. We're not live. We're
Yes,
live.
or-
We're not live. We're not live. We're live.
telling me yes or no would be a trick.
Maybe. We might be live. Not sure yet.
Are you alive?
Mm,
How do I know you're real?
mm,
Do you have any good dreams lately, Eric?
no.
Oh, I've had some very strange ones. Just last night, okay? I
Yeah.
have this dream like every month or so. So it's been like 3 years since I've played any instruments, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I always have this dream that all of a sudden I'm like back in band for some reason, and I after all this time, and I've forgotten how to play my instrument. So I walk in, and the conductor's just looking at me, like shaking his head. Oh, it's been a while since you've been here, hasn't it? He says. And I just have to go sit down at my spot. Of course, I'm like late. I'm like 5 minutes late or something. And everyone's just scowling at me. And I sit down and I realize that I don't know how to even play my instrument. And so I just have to like pretend that I'm playing. It's a terrifying experience. Just terrifying.
I've been having some pretty weird dreams. I just can't remember them. I just know I'm so scared when I wake up. I'm just terrified. Just block it from my memory instantly.
Eric, do you believe in Bigfoot?
No.
Do you believe in whales?
Yes.
Have you ever seen a whale?
Mm, no.
Oh, how do you know that whales are real then?
I've seen pictures of whales.
Well, have you seen pictures of Bigfoot?
No.
Are you kidding me?
What's Bigfoot?
Okay. He got us with that one.
If
Uh,
Bigfoot existed, people would get pictures of it easily. How many people hunt that thing?
Haven't you seen the famous
How
Bigfoot
could there only be
video?
like two of them?
Haven't you ever seen the famous video of Bigfoot walking around in the forest?
It's just a man who got blurry.
That is Bigfoot.
It's just a trash bag blowing in the wind.
Just a hobo wearing a sack.
What about those arms and legs? Nope, that looks like a trash bag to me. That's a good point, actually. And those whales, those videos of whales, those are just like plastic bottles.
Just a big pile of trash in the ocean. Fills up with air and launches out every once in a while.
That's just what a whale is. Bigfoot, a bag of trash. Whales, a bunch of bottles. Knowledge. That's just some very key insights right there.
You ever think we're living in like a 1984 thing where all the other countries, they just don't exist?
I mean, I've never been to another country.
Yeah.
How
I've
do
never
you
even seen the oceans.
how do you know the oceans are real, Eric?
I know I've seen the Gulf of Mexico, so I know that there's at least a Gulf there.
I don't know if oceans are real, but gulfs are definitely.
I've definitely seen a Gulf
I
before.
definitely can confirm a gulf is a thing.
Yeah, we got two golfers here.
Golfers. Golfers.
What, Mark? You've been to Spain, haven't you? That's another country.
That's another country, but I was just like, I didn't know when I got into Spain because we flew over, and the thing is, like I expected there to be like some sort of line on the ground signifying like a new country. Like there was
A
nothing.
border.
Yeah, there's just nothing to indicate. You know how you look
Interesting.
like at maps and stuff, and there's like
Yeah,
those
yeah, yeah.
pencil lines making all the countries their borders. I didn't see that, and
I
Interesting.
I
don't
was
think Mark
pretty
went
high
to
up in.
Spain.
You
Oh,
don't think Mark went to Spain?
No,
Where
I
did he go?
did.
I don't think he did. I think he's lying.
Look, I can speak Spanish. Como usted? Can I use the to form with you guys?
No,
Uh,
I just.
it must be usted. I don't know you well enough.
You must have known me for at least 15 years before you can stop using the usted form. I promise I went to Spain. You can quiz me.
um, what's the capital of Spain?
Cortés.
Who's the ruler of Spain?
Cortés.
It's got a sound argument. You gotta say.
Can you
It's
argue
loud.
with that? Wait, have you ever been out of the country, Eric? Or
No,
August?
I've been to Scandinavia. I went to Sweden, Denmark, Finland, and Norway. That was pretty fun. I went to Legoland. That's an experience. Ever been to a place just made out of completely out of Legos?
the country of Legoland.
I'm not even kidding. There's just like they have the Eiffel Tower, the Statue of Liberty. They have
So it's like
the
Oh,
the.
you know what?
rock.
I've been to Las Vegas and I've seen the Statue of Liberty, the Eiffel Tower.
You've pretty much seen the whole world then.
Yeah, honestly, I've been in a gift shop before and I've seen all those things. If you want to travel the world, just go to a gift shop.
You know the Eiffel Tower's real because you've seen a little version of it.
If you can
That's how
make a
some.
model of it.
Yeah, that's how science works. It's all about creating
Well,
models.
I've seen
Who's to
toys.
say
I've seen
what
toys of Bigfoot,
Eiffel
so that
Tower
proves
is the
them.
real one?
Yeah.
True, that's true.
Who's to say my tiny Eiffel Tower is not the first?
Well, you know they had to make models before they could build the big one. That would
Yeah,
just be
so there's
dumb
been
if they didn't
plenty
plan
of
it out.
Eiffel Towers before.
Yeah, so that before that big one in France, they had to make hundreds of little Eiffel Towers.
And
So
so when you see like
just a copy.
little monkeys at the zoo and stuff, that's just proof. Undeniable proof that Bigfoot is out there. Those are just little models of Bigfoot.
The zoo manufactures them in Bigfoot's image.
And on the seventh day, Cortez created the Bigfoot.
What?
Eric,
Eric,
you need
who's
to put
talking?
a live.
Who? Oh, Tate. Tate has. Oh, I'm not talking to him, but
Are you talking to a ghost, Eric? What's going on over there?
I'm talking to a ghost.
Why are you talking to yourself?
Eric, are you feeling okay? Do
Are
have a
you
fever?
okay? Eric, are you sad? Would you describe yourself as a sad person, Eric?
No.
Why not?
I describe myself as hungry.
My wife's gonna bring me Mexican food. That's gonna be good.
Quesadillas or taco?
That is,
I wish
it's
I
gonna be
had that.
surprise.
You know what?
I told
That's
you
what
about my seafood surprise, right?
You're what?
I had some seafood surprise at Three Margaritas. That was good. It had
Was it a
octopus.
surprise?
It had everything in it. It had crab, octopus, giant shrimp, little shrimp,
But was there
rice.
was there a surprise with it?
Oh, that I didn't know what was going to be in it, so everything was a surprise. You just dig into the rice and you're like, "What's this creature I'm about to eat?" And you just eat it. And you're like, "Oh, that's a fish," and then you eat this one. And you're like, that's a big shrimp. What's this? It's a little crab in here,
But I
little
mean,
octopus leg.
like,
At Three Margaritas,
Yeah,
I don't think I would go there to get seafood.
I wouldn't either, but I got rushed, so I just had to pick something. So I picked the craziest thing I
So why don't
saw.
you pick Mexican food?
So I mean, it had Mexican
If you're
spices on it.
panicking, that's all I would be able to think of.
I was on the fish page. I panicked
you're
and I was
just
on the fish
you're just there
page.
on the menu. I don't know what to get. Give me Mexican food, quick.
Bring me something Mexican. That's the whole menu, sir.
But I mean, I don't know if I'd classify that as a surprise because it said seafood on there. Seafood like entails all of seafood. Now, what would have been a surprise is if you ordered the seafood surprise, and instead of seafood, you got like chicken and pork. That would be a
Yeah,
surprise.
that would be a surprise.
Because then you would never expect that. And in fact, it'd be even more surprising if it wasn't even like Mexican food at all, but like some
They just bring you
complete
out.
some complete other like genre food like sushi or like Chinese food.
They just bring you out Greek yogurt.
Greek yogurt with like a bit of like
Greek yogurt with shrimp in it. That would be a surprise.
there's like one piece of shrimp at the very bottom of a bowl of Greek yogurt.
Just
What if you just had an egg? You had a What if you had a
Today, Junior.
I'm trying to think of a food that would not be good. What if you just took a hamburger, but instead of a burger, it was just shrimp,
what?
and then you put it in a deep fryer.
So you just like get all the shrimp pieces stuck together so it resembles a burger from a distance.
That sounds kind of good. I think I'd eat that actually.
Maybe if you put like tartar sauce
But
on
the
it.
shrimp's not shelled.
Oh, so it's just crunchy.
You know what? That's a story I have from Spain. Like the first night we got there, we were like in Madrid. We just went to like some restaurant that smelled the best. And I ordered like we both ordered like this seafood plate, the paella. And so they brought it out and they had all these like prawns and like lobster things. But the problem was everything was still shelled. And I had no idea how to like they didn't give us any utensils to like crack anything like you'd normally expect if you're eating like crab or something. So they just had these little shrimps fully shelled and there was no way you could eat them.
You
It was
just
a
have to eat
terrible
the
mess.
shell.
I was just ripping them apart. Like pieces were flying everywhere onto the people's tables next to us. Eventually, I just started eating the shells. Then people started looking at me.
Oh man.
Man.
That's what happened with my seafood surprise. They just gave me like lobster legs and nothing to open them with. So I just had to stab it with my fork until I could get to the meat.
So they got rid of the rest of the lobster, just gave the legs.
Turd in urinal asked, "What is this? This is a podcast."
Hey, turd and urinal. If you don't know what a podcast is, you gotta like smarten up, dude. All right, because it's
Time
a
to
big
wise up.
bad world out there. All right.
I'll tell you what. This is the meeting of the minds. We're gonna enlighten you. We're gonna drop some knowledge on you.
Get
Why?
enlightened.
Why is it a podcast? Why is it a podcast?
Why? Because y squared plus x squared equals c squared.
Wow. Turd in urinal just said this podcast is terrible. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Well, I mean,
No.
coming from
No
a turd in a
disagreement
urinal, I don't think we can. That means much. I mean, you're literally a piece of shit. All right.
In the wrong place. You're not even where you're supposed to be.
You're just flying by, aren't you, Mr. Turd in the urinal? And you've got a lot of shit to figure out. You're a piece of, first
What
off,
happens to the nose bone on skeletons?
I think it's cartilage.
No, it's not.
haven't you ever felt your nose before, August? It's hard.
It's soft. No, my nose is soft. It like past a certain point, it's all cartilage.
I know, but I'm talking about the bone part.
It
Where's
sticks
the
out.
bone?
There's a little part that sticks out on a skeleton.
But that's
But you don't see that on skulls, dude.
Turd in urinal agrees. There is no bone, retard.
I don't know if you ever. Well, I guess
Can't
yeah.
read. Yeah. Turd in urinal said it best. Retard.
Oh, I guess I
there's
can't
no
argue
bone.
with him.
But this bone is big. My nose bone is much bigger than these.
If there's
skulls.
no,
You're
I've got.
deformed.
You know,
That's the problem.
I just thought of the undeniable proof that there is a nose bone. If there wasn't a nose bone, then how do you get a broken nose? Okay?
You break the cartilage. It's like breaking
No,
your ear.
broken only applies to bones. Cartilage grows back. So you can.
Oh, by your logic. Your logic. If my car breaks, oh no, my car bone broke.
That's true. Well, cars are hard, and so are bones. There must be bones in cars.
Joe Reagan.
Don't they even call like the? They even call the what is it, like the body of the car a skeleton, don't they?
No, they call it the frame.
Well, you could, but frame's also like a metaphor for like a body,
A metaphor
human,
for a body. Blah,
human
blah,
body.
blah.
Like, oh, she's got a nice frame or something. You know, haven't you ever heard? That's an expression.
I'm sorry, Mark. I don't objectify women like you do. I don't relate them to cars. Oh boy, my wife is home with Mexican.
Where's it from?
Your wife's home with a Mexican?
I'm sorry, but yeah. I'm sorry to myself.
There's nothing I can do.
Oh,
So,
good, man.
does the audience have any questions for us? Let's
Turd
have
in Urinal
the
says, I'm going to listen to Joe Rogan. See ya.
Joe Rogan's a copy. He's just like I mean,
Thank you.
he stole all of my ideas. Joe Rogan.
It's true. Every single guest he had on the podcast, I thought of first. I thought of those people.
And we're actually really good friends with Joe Rogan. Not many people know this in the audience, but I actually went to high school with Joe Rogan. And that's when we came up with the idea for the it was supposed to be called the Seth Rogen experience, because it was we were gonna have Seth Rogen in there too, because he was gonna be the main person we interviewed. But then Joe Rogan, he just broke into my computer, took my list of interviewee ideas and everything, and he just ran off with it. Started the Joe Rogan experience.
Unbelievable. Why didn't you sue?
He stole my fortune. I'm a man of honor. I don't sue.
This is a good burrito.
Where's it from?
La
Mexico?
Aztec, I think. Yeah,
What'd you say?
La Aztec or something like that.
What'd you
Wish I knew
say?
one.
Hold on, I'm gonna get my wife to answer these questions. I'm not a burrito expert.
Oh, we're gonna have a special guest on the podcast. Breaking history today.
La Azteca.
Is our guest ready?
Our guest? Who's our guest?
I didn't say anything.
When's your brother gonna join us? I thought he was gonna be our guest today.
I don't know where he is. He disappeared.
Unfortunate.
I was talking to my brother yesterday. He moved to LA, right?
Yeah.
You guys know that. So I was thinking the Colorado River, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we are podcast located in Colorado. The Colorado River flows down to LA, and that's where they get their water, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
No, it doesn't.
No, it's sound. It's sound.
it checks out.
It doesn't. It goes south.
I thought it looped around though, doesn't it?
No.
Where does it go?
It just goes south through like Arizona, New Mexico.
I thought it went
you
all the
ever-
way to California.
What?
Where does the
How would it
water-
even do that?
No, I'm looking at a map right now.
I'm looking at the map.
on the Continental Divide?
Haven't you ever
Yeah,
heard of
this
the
is-
Continental Divide, Eric?
It literally
been
goes like
split.
right around California.
Close enough.
Like
Close
it
enough.
purposely avoid the border of California is drawn just to avoid that river. Do you see it?
That's probably because I took some stinky shits in that
Are
river.
you looking at that picture?
Yeah, I see it now. But they still get their water from it, no doubt. They just pipe it over, I think.
But
In
that's
fact, I'm
too far.
100% certain. It's fact. They pipe it over. They pipe it. It's a dry city. They need that fresh piped water.
San
So-
Francisco?
No, Los Angeles. Anyway, the point is, when you poo poo and you pee pee in the toilet,
You're right, it does get it from the Colorado River.
see,
Would you look at that?
when you
But the
poop,
river doesn't go there. They just steal it like little leeches.
I know, but get this, we do get a bit of revenge, all right? Because every time we poo poo pee pee in the toilet, right, it goes to the treatment plant, and they take the water, they stir it around in a bucket for a bit, and then they dump it back into the river. I've seen it. I've been there. All right, and so it flows all the way down there. So that means all the people in Los Angeles, including my brother, have just been like drinking our like shit and pee water. Think about that next time you're sitting
Brother
on the
getting
porcelain.
dumber.
Yep. I was-
Wait. Speaking, we were talking about this earlier, but is your brother shrinking too? Did he get that gene?
He must be shrinking. We'll bring him on next time we do the podcast as a special guest. You heard it here first, folks. A special DJ, guest appearance, Tank Parade, music producer extraordinaire will be on
Dad!
the podcast. Dad!
Did you like that sound effect?
Yes. Mm. Anyway, we'll get to rub it in his face how he's been drinking our shit and piss water.
This is true.
Turd in the urinal. Are you still here? You'd like that
We
segment.
are, we are down to 0 viewers because Mark scared them all off.
Good.
Good.
Don't worry. This is all being
hungry.
recorded so we can upload it to Pornhub later.
This is a terrible podcast. Why are you guys streaming this?
What?
Who are you to judge us?
Yeah, you just joined halfway through and you criticize us and you've added nothing.
It's terrible.
You're nothing. What do you add? All right. Give us 5 things that you add to the trio right now. To this democracy. We're going to take away your voting privileges. If you can't come up with 5 things that you add, in fact, we'll make a deal with it. 4 things that you add to this experience, to this meeting, and we'll let you stay. Number 1, start.
I didn't even know what you said. I wasn't listening.
Wrong. Objection. Try again.
What do you add to the podcast?
Give us 4 things. 4
Nothing. I don't add anything. There's nothing I add. I should just leave because it's garbage.
Okay,
Good
that's
one, Eric.
one.
Good
Podcast is
All right.
All right,
That's one. All right, on to the next one. Okay.
What's the
You guys
second that you add?
If you guys would just plan this.
We did plan this.
Okay,
You didn't
planning.
plan it. When did you plan this? You just texted randomly while we were playing a game.
We're up to 1 viewer. Thank you, Eric. You have added 1 viewer to the podcast.
All right,
Makes
that's
it.
3
That was
things he's
me.
added. It's looking good for you now, all right? One more thing and you can stay in the podcast.
I would rather we have a planning session first and then make an actual podcast.
Actually, he said plan and podcast. That counts. You can stay. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Eric.
Congratulations.
You are officially a part of the meeting of the month.
I'm hungry.
Give him a buzz for that.
That's -1 points for you. All right, real geniuses never get hungry, Eric. Are you a genius?
No, I'm starving.
Starving for knowledge.
That's
Need more
-2
knowledge.
points. Starving is gay.
Downstairs, probably on the washer or something.
We are coming up to the 50-minute mark. We could take a short break.
Let's power through to the hour, and we'll call it a day.
All right, you heard him.
I've got a question for you, Mark. You did not vote in the midterms, did you? I was curious if you could tell us why.
I mean,
Wait, did you actually not vote?
listen.
Oh my goodness. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Look, I tried.
I don't want to hear it.
I tried to register, okay? I tried to, but they wanted things like I just couldn't get through the form. They wanted my address. I put down email address. I did everything they asked for.
How dumb are you? How do people that are actually stupid figure it out?
I tried to turn in my ballot yesterday. They said they wouldn't accept it. I said, come on. If I don't get this ballot in, I'm going to fail the class. You got to make an exception, teacher.
Should have asked for a presidential pardon.
And I thought that we didn't have to vote for president for another 2 years. So what is all this new voting right now about? I don't get it. Explain that to me, okay?
Eric, were you satisfied with what happened in our election? I was pretty happy.
It's alright.
Some good stuff happened.
Okay. Let's go to new question segment. Question for August. What is your favorite vegetable?
I like potatoes. Pretty versatile. You can use them for a
That's
lot
not
of
a
things.
vegetable.
Potatoes a tuber, I think.
It's a root.
I have to pick again, not a vegetable.
Oh, all right. If it's not a potato, I guess I could go with a yam.
Ew.
Not a
A
vegetable.
peanut.
Oh, this is
Walnut.
just getting laughable. Pathetic.
Rutabaga. That's a good rutabaga.
That's not even real.
The rutabaga is a real vegetable.
No, that's not a real
I don't.
vegetable.
Have you ever
Look that
seen?
up.
Buzzer, that's not real.
I've eaten rutabaga. You
Every
can get
time-
it at the grocery store.
Every time you say rutabaga, you get a buzz.
It's rutabaga.
We're gonna have to bleep
It's a
that word.
Swede. It's a root vegetable.
We're gonna
It's a
have.
cross between a cabbage and a turnip.
It sounds like a curse to me. It
Oh,
sounds
I
like
found
a
I
swear
knew
word.
I discovered a new vegetable the other day, but I can't remember its name. It was called like a Jewish yam or something.
It's just terrible.
Tell us about the Jewish yam.
I can't remember the name.
Just look up Jewish yam. A kippah? Is that it? Ooh, nope, that's a hat.
All right. So it looks like we got a question emailed in to us at the studio here from Susan Weathers. She has a question for
Isn't that your
Eric.
mom?
So this lady has she's been listening for 30 minutes now, and she has a question for Eric. That she wants us to answer on the podcast. Her question to Eric is, why haven't you bought new shoes in the last 2 years?
I actually just got new shoes last week.
Okay, Susan, your question has been answered.
I've got a question.
Feel
here.
free to email us questions.
Hold on. I got a question for you, Mark. Someone is asking, you have a shirt that says master bait and tackle, and I was wondering, what does that statement really mean to you?
That statement is not just a statement. It's a lifestyle. Okay, it is the essence of fluid dynamics in that shirt. Okay? Masturbate
Well,
and tackle.
People just keep living a little bit higher up Mount Everest every year
What?
to get more acclimated to the altitude.
That's a good point.
You just keep moving up a little bit every week, living a little bit higher up until you can breathe easily at the top, and then
you start building like a
you
ladder.
You run a race at sea level, and you break every single record.
Because you can just breathe.
You can just not get tired.
You can like get your breath rate down to like 1 breath.
Probably
a
get
minute.
oxygen poisoning.
Yeah.
Too
know
much
how-
air down here.
I'm suffocating on this air.
I can
Too
breathe.
much.
It's too thick. I can't choke it down.
I'm choking on air. But no, that's a good point. And then what if, they say Everest is the tallest point on the planet, but I think we should build taller than Everest. Get to the top of Everest and start stacking ladders up. And then you can live up there and get even more acclimated to the lack of
Why not just go to
oxygen.
the space station?
Exactly, that's the whole point. Is you're supposed to get higher and higher and higher until eventually you've completely eliminated the need for oxygen in your body.
Little by little, you can wing off of it.
Because as we know, the only reason we breathe is just because we're addicted to oxygen.
Just imagine what kind of brain blast you'd have when you get oxygen again. Your brain would just feel so smart all of a sudden.
It would probably kill you.
You'd have to probably just solve any problem the world might have.
If we all just stopped breathing air, we could solve so many of the world's problems.
Yeah, honestly.
Meeting of the minds, okay? Deep insights into the fabric of human societies.
Can we get a round of applause?
No cheers here.
No cheers till I get my beers. Thank you.
So, if you have any questions for the podcast, email us at Eric. What's your email? Email, please.
If you have any questions, you can send Mark a Steam message at Uncle Muscle on Steam.
But steam's of water.
That's true.
Anyway, email us if you have questions that you want us to answer on the next segment of Meeting of the Minds. Is there anything you'd like to say before we conclude?
I just watched Picard punch a Ferengi.
We'll have to discuss that later.
Here, I'll put this here so you guys can get a good look at it.
All right, we're gonna have to.
Look at that picture. Look at that thumbnail of that Ferengi. What a weasel.
Where
Can
is
we get a boo for that Ferengi?
Speaking about Star Trek, I just had to watch an episode last night to get my fix. I watched that one where Riker goes like insane. Do you remember ever seeing that one, Eric?
Which one was it?
He was like in a play, right? And then like he sees these people with like these weird like face like they looks like they have giant ears over their face. And then he like wakes up in like a mental asylum and he thinks that all of his stuff on the Enterprise is just a delusion.
Yeah. That was a good one.
I just couldn't get over the fact that like they're on this like dangerous like spaceship, right? And they spend like half of their time just preparing for like a play. Who has time for that kind of stuff? And the play is there's only like 8 people in attendance. They don't even put out enough chairs for the whole crew. It's just like the captain and like 3 other friends. How selfish is that?
All right, we done here?
I think so. Is there anything
All
you'd
right.
like to say to finish it up?
Eric, you want to close us out?
No.
Okay. And that concludes the meeting of the minds.
Bye. That's a wrap. Good job, fellas. Pat yourself on the back.
Good job.
I think we had like 5 randos in the thing at any given point. Or like total. Yeah. Only
Actual view.
Yeah, turd in the urinal is not someone we.
How did they join?
It was on Twitch. They just found it.
Are there really that many people just walking around Twitch?
Yeah, who watched this?
I don't think I've ever even been on the Twitch website.
I was surprised that anyone just clicked on it.
Turd in the urinal. He was a good gag though. Maybe he'll come back.
He sent a bunch of Mink K, like the Kappa things.
Where even is this? How do I find
He
it?
sent kappas?
They weren't Kappas, but they were Mink K.
How do I find our
I don't know what the
stream?
difference is. Or mini. Oh, it's Mini Kappa.